Affleck in the early 2000s lasted only 2 years. But how much noise it made in such a short time? The couple was so popular that they came up with the cute name Bennifer. Only iconic Hollywood unions such as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, better known as Brangelina, received such an honor. Let's remember the story of Ben and Jennifer's meeting and separation. JLo and Ben Affleck were introduced to each other in 2002. They were brought together by the filming of the rom-com Jiggly, where both got the main role. Affleck played the hapless gangster Larry, who gets a rare chance to prove himself, while Lopez played the hit woman Ricky. She, with all her hatred of men, predictably loses her head and falls in love with a charming loser. The film received all possible anti-awards and was almost named the worst of the decade at the Golden Raspberry Awards. But it gave the world of show business a spectacular couple in the person of Jennifer and Ben. At the time of their meeting, Lopez was married to Chris Judd. In 2003, they divorced just a year and a half after the wedding. In the interview, Judd never even hinted that the presence of another man could ruin the marriage. Most likely, Ben Affleck really did not influence the relationship between the singer and dancer, since Lopez initiated the process back in July 2002. According to some reports, complaints accumulated on both sides. Judd was unable to come to terms with all the nuances of life with a real star, tabloids and paparazzi. Lopez expected big victories from her husband, but he mainly showed interest in parties. Lopez assures that she never saw publicity in her relationship with Affleck, that the tabloids experienced a boom in the early 2000s and only a few managed to hide their personal lives. What life was like for the actor and singer at that time can be seen in the Jenny from the Block video. I love Ben. He's an amazing person, but 2 years into our relationship, each of us has been tested. We were on the cover of every magazine, every week, and it's really weird. Of course, this is not the only reason why we broke up, but such attention greatly influenced the dynamics of our relationship, the artist said in 2010. In November 2002, Ben and Jennifer got engaged. Lopez never told how exactly this happened, although she made it clear more than once that the moment turned out to be beautiful and memorable. For the next almost 2 years, she wore a Harry Winston ring with a 6-carat pink diamond on her ring finger. Affleck chose it himself and, without a shadow of a doubt, parted with $2.5 million for it. The imminent engagement greatly increased interest in the couple. Together they were one of the most coveted red carpet pairings. The tabloids were full of all kinds of information about what was going on behind the closed doors of the bride and groom's house. However, according to Lopez, much of what was put on the covers was untrue or only partly true. In 2003, the actor and singer starred in the film Jersey Girl, which was released a year later. In 2004, a few months later, the lovers made a joint statement that they had decided to postpone the wedding. It comes out exactly 1 day before the approved date of the celebration. The news came like a bolt from the blue. Literally, before this there was no suspicion that something could go wrong. In official comments, Affleck and Lopez blamed increased media attention, worried that the holiday might be ruined. Ben and Jennifer even planned to send fake brides to 3 different locations, just to confuse the paparazzi. Realizing how crazy this was, the celebrities decided to postpone the celebration indefinitely, so as not to spoil the day for themselves or the guests. One might think that this is just a diversion, which will be followed by a secret wedding on a tropical island in the presence of family and close friends. But in fact, as some publications later found out, immediately after the postponement of the wedding, Lopez and Affleck broke up, after which they got together again for a short time, and then decided to call it a day. Information about this appeared in January 2004. The couple made almost no comments and asked for respect for their right to privacy. The exact reason for the celebrity's separation has not yet been announced. Lopez hinted in an interview that circumstances were to blame, saying that the love was real, so it would be a different time. Affleck assumed that they were both in a hurry and were too available to each other. In the spring of 2021, the whole world gasped when it learned that 19 years after their breakup, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck began communicating again. And even more, news about the couple's reunion began to flash in the media every now and then. A year after their reunion and almost 20 years after their first engagement, Ben Affleck proposes to Jennifer Lopez again. This time they successfully went from engagement to wedding, which took place on July 17, 2022. Jennifer began a new journey, a long and happy one. There were few guests at their wedding. They wanted to make their ideal holiday very intimate. First, they signed at a marriage registry office in Nevada after standing in line, and then got married in the famous Little Chapel in Las Vegas. As the actress assures, the decision to get married was made spontaneously, after which they could no longer wait. They did everything quickly, without even worrying about special outfits for the event. According to the singer, everything becomes less significant when two people love each other. They have been waiting for this moment for 20 years, but they no longer intend to put their lives on hold.